The old adage for finding a property manager involved looking for a resident with the nicest yard and nicest car and ask them to serve as the live-in manager. I've debunked this many times on this podcast, so I'll refer you to previous episodes for why that's a bad idea. On this mid-month wisdom, I want to explain in more detail why cheap labor will ultimately prove more expensive. Here's a quick, doctored up story that combines several things I've seen. A frantic service call comes into a lower quality employee. This employee fields the call, succumbs to the pressure of this stressed out resident, calls the maintenance person to have him resolve the issue immediately. Then the maintenance person stops his current job, diagnoses the issue, calls the regional manager for approval, only for the regional manager to catch that this resident lives in a tenant-owned home, and the responsibility for the fix falls onto the resident, not the community. Let's break down this example. The maintenance person gets pulled off a job, prolonging the resolution time of that original job. The disruption in workflow then reduces the productivity of this maintenance person, not only for that job, but for the rest of the day. The regional manager also gets looped in, only to again get pulled away from their current task, cutting into their time and productivity. This lower level employee sucked in 2 other employees into the proverbial black hole of nothingness. If this maintenance person is $16 an hour and the regional manager is $29 per hour, and let's say they both needed about an hour to address this total non-issue and then return to their current task and re-achieve focus and workflow, that's $45 of labor allocated to a complete non-issue. But that doesn't tell the whole story. The maintenance person and regional manager become frustrated with the lower level employee. Both of their attitudes suffer, and they lose respect for this lower level employee. Compound similar issues over time, and you create a cultural issue within your organization. I have seen this occur not only within my own organization, but in other businesses beyond just mobile home parks. Cheap employees like those live-in managers, while cheap in terms of direct labor cost for that individual, prove more expensive to the bottom line and threaten the culture of your company, not to mention your own sanity. Have you ever took time out of your day to train someone on something for the 15th time, and this person still doesn't understand the concept? Lower quality employees cause issues within your accounting software, credit card bills, relaying improper messages to residents, missing residents, sneaking home sales to potentially dangerous criminals, and on and on and on. They require management from you, taking time away from truly higher value activities. The amount of time, stress, money, opportunity cost, and so on for having someone live on site and get paid some menial salary will cost you in non-obvious ways. Now imagine this. A higher quality employee fields that frantic phone call, checks the status of the home, realizes that the unit is in fact a tenant-owned home, inquires further about what's going on, uses her talent and knowledge to understand that the issue belongs on the resident, properly delivers this sensitive information to the resident in an emotionally intelligent manner, and within 5 minutes gets the resident to address their own issue. The maintenance person doesn't get called off a live job. The regional manager or you don't get pulled away from whatever job you're working. Your employees don't lose respect for each other's incompetence. And this entire incident goes completely unnoticed because you have a talented team. The best firefighters don't fight fires. They prevent them. They work in silence. You can easily fall into the trap of thinking you just have good properties and miss the fact that you actually just have really good employees. This will tempt you to cut back on pay, quality, yada, yada, yada. Make no mistake about it. Cheap is expensive. Cheap will cost you in non-obvious ways. While you may not be paying as much in wages, you for sure will be paying for this in your time, other bills, sanity, and company culture.